March's Mixed Media Frenzy YouTube hop. I just showed you the layout that we're going to be scraplifting. It's from Le Monde d'Amélie, and it's just this beautiful kind of watercolor blended colors in behind the photo with a little bit of stamping, and it's very pretty. So I was looking forward to scraplifting this one. So I'm starting off by working on my background just on some white cardstock, just like in the sketch. Oh, no, I mean layout. I'm going to say sketch over and over again, but I mean layout. We've been talking about sketches so much all month with Christy's 30 Days of Sketches series going on right now. So it's going to come out of my mouth again, and I apologize. I mean layout. But I'm using the white cardstock just like in that layout. And I'm going to go ahead and use some markers to kind of create my background watercolor blended colors. And it's something I haven't done in a while. It's kind of fun to do this because it's so simple and yet it always comes out looking so great. And the other day I got a question from someone kind of asking what she could do to get good at this kind of thing. And, you know, she doesn't have a lot of money, and she didn't want to invest in a bunch of different watercolor palettes and stuff to try to find the one that's going to work best for her and create the best results. And so I wanted to show her that it doesn't really matter how much money you spend or what the products are. You can make really gorgeous mixed media and watercolor effects and backgrounds and things like that with just about anything that you have. So if you have some water-based markers at home, they actually work quite well, and you can see that right here. The colors are nice and vibrant, and they're smushing and blending, and that's tons of fun. So even Crayola markers will work for you, and it's more just about understanding and playing around with your different products and kind of figuring out how they work on your paper and how they might work together and with other products, and then using them in the way that best showcases what they can do. So you don't necessarily have to have the most expensive or the fanciest or the best things out on the market. You just have to kind of give yourself a little bit of grace to experiment and play, and know that mixed media can sometimes just give you different results. You could do the same thing 10 times and you will get 10 completely different things. So you really just have to learn to embrace that little bit of unexpectedness and give up a little bit of that control. There, to a certain extent, you could see here as I was kind of placing my packaging down, I knew I didn't want my colors running outside of this little vertical line that I've made. So I could control that and kind of keep them where I wanted them to go. But as soon as I smushed the colors down onto the paper, they're going to blend and move and kind of do their own thing and touch the paper in different ways so that you get some spots that are a little bit more concentrated and some that aren't. And those are the kinds of things that, you know, if what one person does looks really good to you, you may never be able to replicate it. So you just kind of have to go with the flow of whatever your mixed media product is, and just know that that's part of the fun, that each and every time you do it, you're going to get something completely different and unique. So I say just go ahead and give it a try and see what comes of it. And I even get my kids sometimes to do stuff like this, or I've shown my nieces how to do watercolor effects like this. I taught a class where I kind of showed this to some kids too, using Crayola markers, and it's about having fun. So don't overthink it, just kind of let it go. And if for some reason I wasn't happy with this, I probably would have just put it to the side, went and got another piece of white cardstock and tried again. And that's totally okay, because maybe later on down the road, who knows when, I could come back to this piece here and decide that it would work perfectly for a different layout. As a matter of fact, I did drop a little bit. You can see right at the very top, I dropped a little bit of color, and I knew I didn't want any color up there. So I just kind of went ahead and continued with my layout. And at the end, you'll see how I kind of remedy that and fix it up a little bit. So there's always something that you can do to fix those little what does Bob Ross call them? The little happy mistakes. There's always something you can do as long as you just allow yourself to not look at them as mistakes, but just potential for embellishments or some more color or a different take on the design of the layout than you originally thought it might go in. So, just jump in and do it. That's always my advice whenever somebody asks about mixed media. So I let my background dry, and this is another reason that I went for the markers instead of for my watercolors. My watercolors, just the ones that I happen to have out on hand, they can be pretty intense and the colors can be really, really dark and vibrant, and it's very beautiful. But I was hoping for more of a pastel look to my colors. And so I knew with the markers, they just don't have that same intensity, especially when you start to water them down. So I knew that when they dried, they would probably dry a lot lighter. They're actually still pretty intense. The color that you see there is pretty accurate. So they didn't go quite as soft and light as I thought they might, but definitely when they dried, they're a lot lighter than what my watercolors probably would be. I would have had to be very kind of intentionally light-handed with them, and that doesn't always work for me. So I definitely was kind of playing it safe with the markers as well, and just thought if it wasn't dark enough, I could always go back and add to it. But it's really hard, obviously, to take color away. So I'm pretty happy with how they kind of dried. They are a little bit more bold and intense than I expected, but that was sort of another reasoning behind picking the markers, because I thought I could achieve that kind of more pastel, Eastery feel a little bit easier, I guess. And so once my colors were all dry, I just grabbed some of my stamps. I picked the doodle border stamps that I have. I got those from Jen Smith, and they're from Close to My Heart. And I just thought that they kind of bring a little bit of that whimsical feel to the layout, because it is an Easter layout and we're holding little photo booth props. I don't know why I want to say prompts. It's props. They're just on little sticks, and so they're kind of fun and a little bit more playful. And so I thought that the kind of that doodly swirly border is a little bit more playful. And then I just had one that is kind of more of a background stamp, and it's just little tiny dots. And I had a Stampin' Up! Stamp that is an Easter egg, so I stamped that a couple of times. So I didn't quite fill up the watercolor area like in Amelie's layout, but I just wanted to have that little bit of stamping in the background there. And I think those little Easter eggs are so cute. And definitely the black on the watercolor really helps to intensify those colors even more. And I find that a lot when you have black and white, that those really bright colors kind of pop even more than if it was just on the white paper. So with the background done, I moved on to my photo, and I just added a few layers behind my picture. Those are all from the Daisy Meadows collection from Close to My Heart. Again, I got that from Jen Smith, so check out her links down below if you want to go and see what Close to My Heart has right now. She's got lots and lots of inspiration on her Instagram channel, so definitely check that out if you're looking for some scrap lifting ideas. I also added some pink, almost like bubblegum pink glitter paper as my last layer behind my photo. So that kind of helps to make it stand out from the background and just brings a little bit of a different texture and some kind of fun, glittery element to it. And then I picked the little bunny in the barrel. I actually fussy cut that from one piece of paper from this collection, and I fussy cut the eggs. That's the same paper, so just side A and side B, I fussy cut those out just to create a little cluster in that kind of empty space where I'm sitting in front of the kids. So there's, a little bit of a cluster. I found some ribbon that I got from Christina from the Secret Not Secret Kit Club kit that I got that has like little white flowers on it, and then one is blue with little tassels. And because I kind of covered up a lot of the blue with my picture, I decided to put those little tassels in there to kind of bring that blue back a little bit. And the flowers were just kind of pretty, and also that's a little bit of kind of paying homage to the original layout where she used flowers. I wanted to throw that in there as well and have something with a little bit of dimension. So that really worked out. That was kind of a happenstance that I was going through my stamps and that caught my eye. So I just put that in there, and I think it kind of grounds the picture too. It just gives it that little place to kind of nestle and sit, and gives my bunny a little place to sit. And I did pull off a couple other little stickers, some hearts and things like that from the sticker sheet from Daisy Meadows. And then I'm also using some stickers from my Maggie Holmes sticker book, the Big American Crafts sticker book, because she has a lot of those really soft colors in this particular sticker book. And she has some bunnies in there. So that ribbon that I have right by the word happy, that's going to move eventually. But the ribbon has a little bunny on it. And then she had some little kind of gingham bunnies. And so that worked out really good. So I got a couple of those on there. And then here is my solution for that little top spot where I dripped some paint. I decided to rip it right across the top and put the paper with the eggs to kind of bring that element back in of the eggs, kind of repeat that. And then I fussy cut another little bunny and have him poking out from the rip, so, or her. I had to just kind of fold the ears down because they were sticking up too high, but I think that looks kind of cute. And then it also gives it a little bit of a different look from the bunny that's in the barrel. So now it kind of looks like two separate little pieces instead of the same thing that's being repeated. And I was kind of, I don't know, I was toying back and forth with whether or not I liked having that word happy up in the space kind of by my head. And then I decided, since I put something up at the top, maybe I should carry that down a little bit. I did kind of offset my picture a little. It wasn't right in the middle, so it kind of threw off the symmetry of the layout, which is totally fine. You could leave it just like that. But I thought that because there was a larger open space down in that bottom left-hand corner, I could go ahead and put the title down there, and it kind of balances everything out a little bit. So I put the happy and the little eggs that you see beside it. Those come from the Daisy Meadows sticker sheet. And then I just filled the rest of my title in with some little tiny alphas from the Chamel sticker book. So my title says Happy Little Bunnies because the sign I'm holding says Happy Easter, and I didn't want to repeat that again. So Happy Little Bunnies, which they kind of were, because Kaylin had actually gone on a little trip with my mom, and so it was just the two of them for Easter, and that's the first time they had ever experienced that. So I think they kind of enjoyed having mom and dad all to themselves. And that's it. That's my layout. I splattered some gold just to finish it off and a little bit of enamel dots. And that is all. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can leave them for me down below. And you'll also find links to everybody else who's participating in the hop today down below as well. So please go and check them out and show them some love. And until next time, happy scrapping. Bye.